Donald Trump cannot answer a single question, and then someone says, Kamala wants to tax the rich more, and he's like, no, we cannot tax the rich more. I have an entire philosophy behind this, by the way. They pay all of our taxes. Okay, dude. Let's talk about the working class hero, man. Let's talk about the working class hero. Working class, man. He cares about you, right?
And they keep blaming the blame always seems to go on her end to corporate price fixing and vilifying the corporations in this country, the companies in this country. When asked how she's going to pay for the agenda last night on 60 Minutes, she just keeps saying she's going to tax the rich. Even Bill Whitaker on 60 Minutes is saying, well, we live in the real world. How are you really going to do that?
Well, you don't tax the rich because the rich are going to look. The rich pay most of the tax in the country.
No, we can't blame the rich. We cannot vilify the rich. We can't do that. We need to vilify every single immigrant in America, even immigrants that are like fleeing war-torn countries, who brought their entire families here and are desperate to make a life for them and their kids. We should be vilifying them, of course, because the criminals left the countries that have no laws to come do crime in our country, which does have laws. And the rich people are running charities, and they love workers. Rich people own literally everything. They restrict housing and food and healthcare and gas, oil, energy in order to profit. They own every major industry. If you want us to pay more taxes, give us more money. Give the worker more money. We produce literally everything. Working Americans, middle-class Americans, lower-class Americans, we produce all of the wealth in this country. The rich own and control everything. Donald Trump does not understand economics. Here, he's just talking about why rich people, feel bad for them. No, I'm not going to feel bad for the rich who have mega yachts because they need to pay a little bit more in taxes. And by the way, they still pay a lower effective rate because they have fancy lawyers and fancy tax professionals who can lower their rate even more when they pay taxes. Donald Trump's only bill he got passed, and by the way, Biden got the infrastructure bill done, the CHIPS Act. There are major chips being built in America right now, not Lay's or Frito-Lay's or Doritos, but technology. Those are being built in America. We got the American Rescue Plan. We got tons of actual laws passed under Biden's admin. Donald Trump, the only law he got passed was his tax cuts. 83% of those tax cuts went to the top 1%. Those are the people who benefited, the very, very, very wealthy. And by the way, we are still living under Donald Trump's tax law right now. No new law has replaced this. So if your taxes went up, just remember, the tax cuts for the wealthy, which is what the bill was intended for, they were huge, they were permanent. The tax cuts for you that Donald Trump crafted were temporary because he wanted to get a political win out of it, and Donald Trump wants to serve the wealthy. Donald Trump literally said about how he is proud, he's happy that he would fire striking workers, and if workers wanted overtime, he would find someone else to work. Donald Trump has been one of the most anti-worker people in American history. Just because he says angry words about immigrants doesn't mean he's on your side. Look at the actual laws, look at the actual policies. If you could find what his future policy is even gonna be. Oh, he says, drill baby drill. Okay, so slogans don't matter. Again, the actual laws Donald Trump has passed have been for the wealthy. We can do this again. It doesn't matter, it's not gonna change. The laws Donald Trump passed, what Donald Trump is pushing for, is to benefit the wealthy. It always has been. His economic plan is to tax you and to not tax the wealthy. This is a fact. This is a fact. This is happening. It is a real thing. I know we don't agree on real things anymore, but the vibes don't matter. The slogans don't matter. Him getting angry, again, at immigrants doesn't matter. We know because there's a track record. He tried cutting Social Security, tried cutting Medicare in every single budget. For them to say now they will protect Social Security and Medicare and Kamala will get rid of it is hilarious for anyone paying any attention. You can't use them as your source of information. Donald Trump tried killing Obamacare multiple times. And J.D. Vance goes up there on that debate stage with a straight face saying that Donald Trump saved Obamacare. No, John McCain is the person who stood up and said, no, we're not going to get rid of the ACA. We're not going to let Donald Trump kill it. Donald Trump wanted to kill the ACA. And it's wild because I bet if you ask 90% of Trump supporters, they would talk to you about everything I just said and believe the exact opposite of the truth. I see what you're doing. I see what you understand about this and what you don't. When the dock workers strike, when anyone strikes, when teachers, anyone, you say, oh, these are the fat cats. They get paid too much money already. But we never look at the CEOs, the presidents of different organizations. We never look at who is really profiting. If you think these workers are making a lot, you better check who their bosses are. And it's really funny how you can be so against the elites. And you can talk about George Soros, who's worth $5 billion and owns a couple of newspapers. But Elon Musk, who's worth $350 billion, joins Team Donald Trump. He's jumping around on stage like a dumb dolphin or whatever. He's just buying Twitter for $50 million and turning it into a propaganda arm for Donald Trump. You're like, oh, no, he's not an elite. Like, they are clowning you. They are making fun of you. They are laughing. They can't believe that you are falling for this. Kamala Harris wants to increase the corporate tax rate again after Donald Trump destroyed it and use the money we get from taxing these very wealthy people in order to support small businesses, the working class, and the middle class. This is the truth in the policy. It's not about debating this anymore. Donald Trump has zero plans here. The only plans he does not have a healthcare plan. He does not have a real immigration plan because he blocked the actual bill that was going to get passed a couple months ago. The only plan Donald Trump actually has is be mad at immigrants and give away more tax cuts to the wealthy. And that's all facts, and we can verify that over and over and over again. If you're a working class person, middle class person, and you vote for Donald Trump in the name of the economy, I really hope you look more into the actual information. Send me a message. I'll help you. And I want to say that's genuine. I'm a proud, very proud, and open former dumbass. And it's hard when you find information that conflicts with your worldview. Maybe your friends believe a certain thing. Maybe you are a part of a club or a group or a cult, and you have a hard time reasoning that there might be other explanations out there. But a big part of this, and especially for those who have friends like this and whoever, is to make sure that these individuals or yourself, we don't want you turning into a conspiracy theorist. We don't want you going crazy because of this. We don't want you to fall off and talk about how hurricanes are made by the Jews like Marjorie Taylor Greene is, or say that immigrants are deep spies in America that are just here to kill your family, or whatever you believe. We want a world where we can be neighbors, focus on actual issues, focus on actual policy. So, and it's funny if you support Trump talking about me being too aggressive with my presentation. You could probably call me a beta liberal. But it's very true. I really do care about this. So if you are someone who might be swayable, please feel free to email me. I have it in the description. And also I have channel memberships and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we're just a ranting channel right now. And I will be making longer form content that will be higher effort and ready for the election.